What the fuck is this?
It's game theory, which Legend of Zelda Link is the best.
Why? There are so many reasons that you can be doing literally anything else than this. But why is this what you decided to do?
Because I have nothing else to do.
I just can't. What even, of all of Matt Pat's bullshit theories, which one is this one?
Oh, it was Majora's Mask Link, that one.
That's actually that's unbelievable. That's actually so incredibly wrong that I don't even know where to begin.
Do you have a better answer to the question then?
It's obviously Twilight Princess Link.
Objection! It's Skyward Sword!
A, what the fuck are you wearing? B, what are you doing in the fucking closet? C, how are you that stupid?
Shut the fuck up. Second off, I like the closet. Alright? Comfy. And I'm not stupid. I know everything. I am the most knowledgeable person in this room right now. Skyward Sword and Link will slide Twilight Princess.
You're wrong. You're wrong. You're just wrong in so many ways. Literally everything about your argument is just wrong, incorrect. Twilight Princess Link is the best in literally every single way. I would fucking fight you on that literally right now. I'll throw our hands.
Oh, we're gonna definitely throw hands. If you're not gonna back away from this Twilight Princess statement, then we're gonna slide hands right now. Cause like honestly, I don't even know what you're on. You're taking weed, cocaine, heroin.
Listen,
I'm a supplier.
Shut up! Okay, there is a way we can settle this, people.
Good enough.
Alright, let's get the shit show started. We have,
I'm the defendant.
for the defendant side, Spock with 2 C's, because he's hella thick. Twilight Princess Link is the strongest Link. And we have, for the prosecution side, Crystal Apple Gamer, aka CAG, for Skyward Sword is the strongest Link. Defendant side can go first.
Unfortunately, I must waste my time on you imbeciles, so let's get something straight, okay? I'm correct, you are wrong. I don't want to waste your time any more than I have to. The reason that I think that fucking Twilight Princess Link is the strongest Link, especially in comparison to a measly scum spec like Skyward Sword Link, is that not only does Twilight Princess Link have the most and best, well, not most. In quantity, he doesn't have the most, but in quality, he has the best skills in the game. Not to mention the fact that his use of transformation to turn into a werewolf, or a regular wolf, he is a werewolf, gives him a strategic advantage in not only combat scenarios, but also utility purposes. He has his ally, Midna, who has a basic concept of control of the Twilight, which can also be useful in not only combat, but utility purposes. He has good weapons, he has the best accuracy of any Link in the entire franchise, and that's not even including Link's crossbow training, which is allowed, and I will get to that shortly. But yeah, he has the most versatile skill set, the most versatile item set, and he is just overall the best Link.
He made very interesting points, but you really look back in the timeline, it's Skyward Sword Link who really set the standard for all Links. First off, he's probably more skilled in combat than Twilight Princess Link. I'll get into those points later. He is probably the strongest and far faster than Twilight Princess Link. If we count mounts like the Loftwing and whatever, I lost that. But if you take also the fact that Fee is a little Google calculator and is probably the smartest being in all of Zelda, and you really set the standard there.
Alright, opening statement is now closed. Defendant, you have the floor.
Let's not waste time and get to my first point. Link has the best skill set of any Link across the entire genre. As you can see, according to Google, Minish Cap Link is the Link with the
Objection! We're talking about Twilight Princess. Stay on topic.
I'm literally getting.
You have to stay on topic.
That's. Minish Cap.
Don't interrupt unless you got a point.
That is a point. He's using feats of another character to prove
Until
another
his
character.
point is.
Okay, we'll see his thing.
So while Minish Cap has the most skills, I was just covering my bases. Minish Cap might have the most skills of any Link in the genre, but Twilight Princess Link's skills are only in second place in the amount of number, not only considering the fact that he also just has better skills in comparison to all of the other Links.
What skills are you talking about?
I'm talking about his combat maneuverability, his backflip slash, spin attack, his thrusts, his overhead slashes, horizontal slashes.
May I ask, where did you learn these?
From the style guy.
The scout, so he had to learn them through his travels.
Of course.
Okay.
If I can object, because I'm fucking yard. The Scout Master that you were referring to was Ocarina of Time Link.
Yes, we all know that. Common knowledge.
I just want to point out that he learned his skills from another Link.
He did indeed. Good factor. He learned it from another, and midway or so far during his travels. Is that right?
I would believe so, yes.
All right. Well, you take all those. Skyward Sword and Link knew him probably when he first began his adventure. Also, you could think that he can refine more of his skills throughout most of his journey. When this Link was a farmer most of his life, where Skyward Sword Link was a knight, was trained to be a knight, which involves some form of combat and combat training, where this Link unfortunately has not go through similar training.
Are you done wasting my time?
No, yeah, you may speak, but
It would seem you are correct. In the beginning, Link did have to learn his skills. But I suppose you don't need to learn when you've spent your entire life training to be a knight at an academy specifically designed for producing people with your skill set. However, my Link went from being a lowly farmer at 4'11", being one of the shortest Links in the franchise, went all the way from his lowly spot to becoming the esteemed hero that we know him as today. Not single-handedly, but being one of the only two people to save Hyrule.
note they had 2 people. You take my Link's feat of soloing the main villain.
Objection!
Here.
He had 5 the entire time.
Note the fact that the defendant character, person also had Minna. So that is 3 helpers at the time.
Whoa.
And which Fee had no influence on the attack.
Who are you counting as the 3rd helper for Twilight Princess Link?
Minna, Zelda, and Link.
Objection! Zelda's a fucking useless piece of garbage in that game.
Overruled!
You take the evidence from my character of being almost single-handedly. Fee had not influenced the battle once, while Zelda is the primary helper during the thing. She can attack Ganondorf, right? My bad, Ganondorf, right? And during the fight, she was with Link by his side the entire time.
By no help throughout the entirety of the battle. What do you mean? Please be specific.
By himself. He had Fee to guide him in knowledge, but again, Fee can only give so much information and not physically attack. Well, you take the fight in Twilight Princess. Zelda was holding Link's hand. I'm sorry, that was too rough. I withdraw. While Zelda was giving him aid throughout the fight.
So, please, can you do the audience a favor and give the jury an example of what Fi is?
Fi is the sword of the Master Sword.
The sword? Well, that's strange because in almost every iteration of this franchise, Link has had a sword, apart from Link's crossbow training in which he had a crossbow. So, how, in your opinion, does Link using the literal sword not count as helpful? Considering that this is the only thing he used to destroy Demise. Not a single item was used except for a sword. The shield wasn't even necessary.
From this statement, is a gun lethal by itself? Is a gun a weapon without a holder?
Yes, it's still classified as a weapon.
But can it harm someone without a weapon, without a holder?
I
Someone
suppose if
shooting
there's
a gun,
no one
something
there-
or something pulling the trigger.
And suppose if
Same thing with the sword, this master sword. You cannot wield the sword without the wielder. And again, the same sword that you're referring as help would go to your Link as well. So that is 4 people I hear helping your Link.
Objection. Vi is canonically dead, basically. She's asleep in the Master Sword, thereby she cannot aid Twilight Princess Link. You cannot count her.
Fortunately, your statement is sleeping, not dead.
Still doesn't do shit.
Still a sword, and
Yeah,
he's counting.
still not being
He's still
used
counting
by
my
Twilight
thing
Princess.
as it's a weapon. So obviously, swinging it is helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, so fine. He did not single it, but your Link, your character had more help, as Midna was insisting with the whole turning into a wolf and well, what's that thing that she does? She puts her hair up, right?
Well, according to your theory, I had 2 people,
Yes, you
Link
did.
and Midna.
Yes.
And would you not agree that 2 equals 2?
2 equals 2, yes.
Okay. So you, as we have just established, had Fi and Link.
Mm-hmm.
As in 2.
Uh-huh.
So I did not have more help than you. We had the same amount.
Again, we're loosely defining that Fi was any help, as well as just being a sword.
But your previous statement was that Fi was the one who was teaching Link all of these extra moves.
No, she was not teaching them the extra skill. He learned them from the academy.
All of them?
All of them.
So
she did not teach him a single technique besides the sword slash technique, where he puts his sword up into the sky and slice down with things. But again, you can teach a toddler that type of technique.
I don't think that's correct, especially considering that Fi is the only person in Skyloft who would have that kind of knowledge.
It's not a technique that anyone can use. It's someone wielding the blade.
Well, this blade just became a lot more helpful considering it's the only thing that can use
Unfortunately, during the final fight, Link was unable to do that technique
that. Do you know why that is?
because he was in the realm of demise.
Your answer lacks specifics.
It's in the realm of demise. Demise realm is cut off from. It was like via magic. She could not summon the Skyward Sword's power.
You should take note that the Skyward energy does not calibrate in lands of amass darkness and evil, negative energy.
Yes, that was the energy magic I was talking about.
Judge,
And the demise.
would you clarify or at least specify that Twilight magic could be considered dark and or evil?
Twilight magic was considerably made by interlopers to take the Triforce, and then got somewhat corrupted by Zant. I would classify it as dark magic.
Sounds to me like your Skyward is useless against the realm of Twilight.
Unfortunately, he does not need that against your character by the sheer fact that it's still a sword. And we already defined that my Link has far vast more superior sword techniques. And he can still summon Fi for any information in the fight, which he does not need if we're gonna go sword to sword or fist to cups. Per se. But Fi is not blocked off, as you can tell, by she's able to connect to the realm of the mind. And you're implying that Midna can permanently, for the entire battle, produce Twilight magic over the Skyward Sword, the Master Sword, throughout the entire battle, which she has not yet proven once she could do.
Well, we can't forget the fact that during the fight of Zant versus Twilight Princess Link, which was held in the Twilight Realm, the Master Sword still worked perfectly fine.
Objection? Name one time in Twilight Princess he shot a sword beam.
There are no sword beams in Twilight.
Okay. So name one time in the game where he shot a sword beam.
I suppose it never happened.
He cannot utilize the Skyward Sword's power. Because Phi, I keep on nothing. Is it Phi or Phi?
Who cares?
Alright.
Is your base of your argument saying that the Master Sword in Twilight Princess is inherently weaker than the Master Sword in Skyward Sword?
I would say so.
The Master Sword. But the Skyward energy can only be used by someone who's taught by 5.
Necessarily so. I mean, Phi did not teach. She taught him to point the sword up, and she used energy. But since your Master Sword, Phi is sleeping in, he is unfortunately unable to use the Skyward Slash, or Skyward Beam, or Skyward Sword's true power. And that gives Skyward Sword Link a credible advantage over this Link via just outranging him if we're just using swords and shield. I'm just doing a hypothetical solo on sword and shield. Hypothetically, my Link would outrange him, which is noted in all the history battles. In historic times, if you have range on an opponent, you win. You have the greater advantage.
So you're saying that the usage of the Skyward Slash is only accessible by your Link, correct?
Yes.
Let it be known that this is incorrect. Demise and Girahim have both used the exact same slash during his battles with Link. And if that sort of magic is accessible by 2 evil villains, why can't Twilight Princess eventually ascend to that level?
Because that same beam slashes are obviously not the same slashes. 1. The Skyward Sword energy is obviously light-based, holy-based, light energy, while the energy they produce is obviously evil and corrupted energy.
Sounds a lot like the Twilight.
Unfortunately, the Master Sword is a holy weapon. I don't think you could ever put corrupted magic on top of that.
The user was corrupted for the entirety of the game.
I don't think so.
The only reason he was able to transform into a wolf was because of Minda's assistance. Minda's assistance with her Twilight magic.
I need to object. The reason why Link can transform back and forth is because the Master Sword is curing him of it. It repels all evil.
Obviously not repellent enough.
Take away repel all evil, and your evil sword slash beams are not really holding up in the argument. And if you take the fact that my Link, defeated both of them.
Come on. Saying that your Link simply defeated the evil bosses at the end of the game isn't much of a saying. Every Link has defeated their fellow boss.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Some multiple times.
Yes, indeed. Everyone has defeated a boss, but Demise and Girahim are on a whole different level than Ganondorf.
Ganondorf and Zant.
Were they fighting together?
Were Demise and Girahim fighting together?
Yes.
No.
Girahim-
Objection!
Objection! He is the sword.
Hold it, hold
I
it.
could object to this objection.
Defendant has the first objection.
Girahim and Demise were not fighting together. They were fighting separately. 2 separate battles, maybe perhaps one after the other, or in quick succession, but not at the same time. And if your next point is going to be that one of them was the sword that the other was using, that would mean that Phi was indeed a help.
I admit that Phi is a help, but Girahim had more magic ability than Phi ever did. So you would say that Girahim was a more superior blade. I don't know how that could be, but more superior blade. Which you take note that Link also defeated both of them combined. Make an argument that is truly impressive.
Well, Ganondorf and Zant especially had control of the Twilight realm, of the Twilight magic, and he used it frequently throughout his battle.
Frequently. Yes, indeed.
Who's to say Zant didn't have magic surpassing, if not just equal to, that magic of Girahim?
I think we're going a little overhead with this debate. This is not Zant versus Girahim. This is Link, Twilight Princess Link versus Skyward Sword Link. You guys have been going on about the sword alone when there takes more than that to be a hero.
Yes, indeed.
Move on from the sword.
Your Honor is right. You're right. We need to stay more on topic. We went over skills. Let's talk about more ally help. My Loftwing. Loftwings are incredibly fast. More faster than a horse. Could tell, and from the air, you can see that sorry, I lost my train of thought. You could tell that a Loftwing has more mobility and it's just faster as well. It can obviously beat someone on a horse. That's like, yes.
Oh my. You thought that I would be opposing that Mount was Epona? But you would be wrong. My Mount is Midna. My Link can teleport.
Oh, sure.
Also, my Link can.
Explain.
She can teleport through the bird sign?
Yeah, but I don't.
Oh no, that isn't teleport. He just uses Loftwing. My bad. I forgot. But hold it. He has to use the sacred. What's it called? The swordy things in the sky. I forget the name.
Twilight magic?
Twilight. No, not Twilight magic. It's the portals in the sky.
Yes,
what are they called?
but that's what it is.
It's Twilight magic.
Yes.
But they don't move, and she cannot command them. She can only summon small ones, and we have no evidence that proves that she can teleport into any specific direction besides the ones that are there.
Objection. In the beginning cutscene in which Midna is first introduced, Wolf Link is seen in his jail cell. We see a very obvious visual of Midna teleporting from inside the cage to the outside of the cage,
Okay.
luring Wolf Link to follow.
Did she name another instance where she teleported with Link?
If you do need an example, at the very final mission during the first few levels of Twilight Princess, when Link has finally accessed the ability of Wolf Link, after his conversation with Zelda, he is promptly teleported out of the Twilight Realm and back into the human realm. And it's shown that Midna is still with him when he's in human form, because she can still communicate with him.
Good point. Good point. I will admit that teleportation seems. But how is this will be influence the battle as much?
Well,
I do state that you can use a Loftwing better in combat. On top of.
As far as I'm concerned, a few seconds is much slower than instantaneous.
True, but I do like to say evidence that Skyward Sword and Link can fight teleporting opponents with not much trouble. Not much trouble, but you know. Can still handle a teleporting opponent.
I hope you wouldn't be using Girahi's flimsy use of teleportation during his final boss fight.
I am. And what's your definition of flimsy teleportation?
Teleporting in a series pattern number and then standing still for a moment so that
I do like to state you're viewing this as a game. A lot of game creators do state that in actual battles do look differently. They only do that for gameplay design. If they have Gyukin teleport at whim to any direction to make it a challenging fight, or an actual more realistic fight, you get involved in the whole, oh, this isn't fun, this isn't a game.
What is the point? Why is Girahin's teleportation skills even being brought up?
I'm bringing it up because he's bringing up the fact that that Twilight Princess Link can teleport, that he would just win or get a greater advantage. But we can state that he fights Girahim constantly 3 times, right? 3 times forward or 2 times. Teleporting in all of those. And yet he does not, it's not the final boss, so obviously you can tell it's not harder than.
But these are not hand-to-hand combat situations.
These
are
aren't.
with your mount. You are fighting with your mount.
And I'm again stating that he's using it that Skyward Sword Link will be overwhelmed, which is not true.
Your Honor, let me make something clear. The purpose of this section of the argument is to prove Mount, which was better. You gave a Loftwing, which has accessible speed, flight, and maneuverability. I gave teleportation. I think it's very obvious between them.
And I agree as well.
Which takes final bosses in a matter into a case. You keep on bringing that up. Ganondorf is pretty strong as is, but is nowhere near the immense great strength that is Demise of himself, of being only the demon king, the demon conqueror who almost conquered the world and had that forced the goddess Hylia to get involved. A deity, a higher deity, which sisters were able to create a Triforce. Same goddess.
To be clear, the white goddess Hylia is not on the same level as the golden goddesses in the Oracle world.
Alright.
Gets the point.
It is stated multiple times that Demise is able to conquer time, which makes him fourth dimensional. Time being the fourth dimension. Also, he is the descendant, or has every monster draw strength from Demise. He is the source for all monsters in the world. Spawn from him. With that great magnitude, you can see why Link fighting him, not only mortally wounding him, forcing him to put a curse on him, forcing him to put a curse on him, because he had no chance of winning the fight.
I find it interesting, your choice of words there. All monsters feed off of him. Zant, the usurper king. Some would say the king of Twilight. He is the reason that the Twilight realm has overtaken him. And the reason that the monsters that you see, those giant, weird, fucking black tentacle-y things, those Twilight spiders, they come straight from the Twilight. So it sounds to me like Zant and Demise really aren't that different. Sounds to me like they're fairly similar.
Fairly similar in what regard? The fact that they can sprout monsters? Anyone can really do that, not everyone can really do that, but doesn't really describe the power of each other.
Then what does
that mean they are equal to strength, or else name the time that Demise mortally wounded the goddess Hylia. Mortally wounding a deity. To the fact that she is now reborn into the goddess not the goddess, the Princess Zelda.
Goddess of Hylia or Zelda?
She gave up her immortal form to be born as Zelda. Although I don't believe it was ever stated that was due to wounds.
Check again. I read on multiple forums and sources that indeed that she was mortally wounded by Demise and she gave up her physical form. It was a mortal wound, and she wanted to be reborn as someone that can help or fight off Demise. And she gave up her physical form, to be reborn into Zelda in the timeline. Your point?
Do you have any idea what the word usurp means?
Take from power. Take some power from someone.
Precisely. Overthrow. Let it be known that Zant, the King of Twilight, is a self-proclaimed King of Twilight. He is actually known as the King of Shadows, taking his throne from the previous King and or Queen of Twilight.
Objection. What does that have to do with the statement, final bosses?
It sounds to me like Zant and Demise are almost carbon copies of each other. Only my deity was a deity of the Twilight realm, and your deity was the deity of wherever realm you are in.
The demon realm. Which he was the king of demons, and all monsters in Hyrule get his power from Demise. So every sculpture or zombie thing gain their power from him. That's why there's monsters into the world.
Well, I suppose the only comparison I can make to prove that Zant is of that level is by comparing the two boss fights. One between Zant and one between Demise.
Okay. Continue.
Since it is your point, or your side, would you like to describe to the jury what the battle between him and Demise entailed?
Entailed a battle between Demise shooting lightning, or commanding lightning, and just a simple sword fight between the two of them.
A simple sword fight.
Mm-hmm.
And it is true that he could not use his Skyward Slash because of the surrounding negative energy, correct?
Yes, indeed. He was indeed handicapped.
The fight between my Link and Zant was much, much more rigorous. There was locational changes. There was need for an assortment of different items and weapons. There was some base swordplay, correct? But most of it was wit, item usage, and strategy.
I do like to state, Demise is a cocky person. He thought he could breeze right through Link. He underestimated Link's strength and did not use as much grandeur. He just wanted to simply stab the hero and let it end. Just because a battle's more flashy does not mean he is stronger.
Objection. Your point for him being cocky is that he held back and wasn't being as fancy?
Indeed.
That doesn't make any sense. If you were cocky, why wouldn't you put as much as you could to make the battle look as spectacular as possible?
You take the fact that objection. You look at Zant's personality.
Mm-hmm.
Goofy, cocky, someone like that. You take Demise, who isn't cocky as much confident. He knows he's going to win. No point of trying. No point of showing him a good show. Zant viewed it as a show. He knew he was probably gonna win and viewed it as a show. Where Demise just wanted to put a blade into the guy. Now he did not use anything flashy, nor that. He used just his strength to overpower him.
Next argument.
My Link is the best and most swordless items. It offers versatility, not to mention his armor.
Indeed, the higher class armor would come into play with the whole, what's that, golden armor?
Magic.
The magic armor, which is what, for like a shield, right?
No, it's an armor set.
Yeah.
You can use a shield.
Yeah, well, like how strong is it?
It's indestructible.
It's indestructible, indeed. But note the fact that it does drain rubies.
Yes.
In the use of it.
Correct.
What is the max ruby hold?
999.
Correct. So if we're gonna assume that we start at max rubies, which we might start
I
with,
like to think we would.
I would like to think we would. You're saying your Link would be indestructible.
1 ruby is drained per 3 seconds while wearing the magic armor. Therefore, my Link would have a really long amount of time to kill you while being literally indestructible through all forms of damage.
Good point. What type of items do you have?
I have the Boost Claw Shot, which allows me extreme versatility. I have the Hawkeye, which gives me better focus and aim. I have the Hero's Bow. Not to mention, with using the Hawkeye, it makes me the best. I have the best accuracy of anything. That's just irrefutable. I have a bomb bag. I have water bombs. I have iron boots. I have a slingshot. Not that good compared to everything else. And I have a Gale Boomerang, which literally summons tornadoes. And I have a ball and chain. While I'm on this topic, let it be known that Link, being at 4'11", wields a ball and chain, which has, when hit with the ball and chain, has thrown him across the room. Meaning that by throwing the ball and chain, it has at least a weight of not 200 pounds, but at least 100 pounds, due to the fact that it's able to throw him at the willy. I would say 150, because, half and the counterbalance of his weight. So, him being able to just roll around more than half, or more than 1.5 of his weight, not 2 times, not quite there, means that his strength, physically, is super. Not to mention his assortment of potions and his drops.
To be fair, if we're going strength now, we're doing items, so I'm not going to comment on the strength portion of your statement. Item-wise, yes, it's an impressive item. I do... That... Yeah, I'm not going to...
Okay, so Twilight Princess gets that point. Super easy.
Alright, so since you mentioned strength, let's go into strength level. Yes. Now, you did mention the fight against Xant and Demise. Demise being more flashy, not Demise. Xant being more flashy than Demise. But now you take a look at the fact that how Demise was fighting straight up, fist to cuffs, toe to toe. He was able to conquer all the time, and able to harm a goddess. How strong do you must think that must be? Being beyond time, strong enough to conquer time, and strong enough to make every monster feel your rule, and being able to... I would say that's more impressive than what weight you said.
As far as I'm concerned, Xant is also a
Evidence?
the Twilight realm.
Is?
To say the fourth realm can't be the Twilight, the fourth dimension.
It's standard to think that the fourth dimension is time. It might be an alternate dimension, or we're talking about 4D like time. He
Okay.
can conquer time.
So
He is above time in space.
Okay.
Alright? You're talking about different plane of existence. Not
Yeah.
time, because
But-
time still flows through it, which Demise does not. Time does not go
Not
through.
fourth dimensional as in time. Fourth dimensional as in another dimension, as opposed to.
Yes,
the
I'm
third.
talking about time.
Fourth dimensional in
He's able to
quantity.
conquer time itself.
How do you know?
Fee states that.
What does that mean?
He has never been wrong once, and the fact that his essence of the imprisoned is able to go into the present, where he is locked in the past, proves that time, he is an essence of being above time.
What would this time manipulation have to do with the battle?
Okay.
In
well,
what way does it make
It has not meaning he can manipulate time. He is above time. He's a being above time.
We are getting off track. Get to the point. This is who's
All right,
strongest.
we're talking about someone who laughs at time. Someone who's above our third plane of existence. He is fourth dimensional, which means that he's above time. All right. Someone who is far above our third dimension is vastly stronger. You are stronger than someone on a 2-dimension, right? Would you say you're stronger than a straight line? Someone on a thing.
Of course.
Okay. And someone who had a dimension of 1 fraction of a thing. No width. Height and length. Height, yeah.
Again, I'm missing the point here.
He is above that. He is something that you guys can't comprehend. And that this Skyward Sword Link is able to cross blades with this person. Someone who's able to mortally wound a god. A goddess who is a deity. I say that's an argument that I want to see your Twilight Princess Link try to argue against.
Do you by any chance remember your choice of words in that little outburst?
He's above time, and I said a lot of words that be more specific.
You stated that yours was above that plane of existence.
Yes.
A separate plane of existence. Do you also remember referring to the Twilight realm as another plane of existence? They're so similar, you can't even get your words correct.
I meant, let me clarify. You know seconds that pass by? He's above that, alright? He goes through a plane, a thing that goes through you that you don't even know goes through you. Time goes through us. Alright, he's above that. It's hard to define a concept of him.
Closing argument, defendant.
My Link has the best items. My Link has better swordplay. My Link has better armor. My Link is unironically indestructible for a matter of multiple minutes. Take note that every boss fight in the game has taken 3 minutes for you and 10 minutes for me. That's including cutscenes on my part. My Link is better at everything. Better accuracy, better wit, better strategy. He has transformations, which allow him a larger moveset. And he has Minna, who is a user of the Twilight realm of magic, which offers him literal teleportation.
All right. defendant. I mean,
Yes, my Link is not as flashy as this Link, but he is stronger, he's faster. He may be even smarter than this Link. We already went over the fact that his sword play is far beyond this Link's comprehension, and that he might possibly beat a fourth dimensional being. A being that said to harm gods. What do your items have anything to do with a guy who could shatter this dimension? Unproven statement, but you get the gist.
Sounds to me like your argument directly relies on the fact that he beat a god.
Any argument of someone who beat a god can rely on just he beat a god. You don't need the statement of anything else, do you? If someone beat a god.
alright. Can't believe that was actually compelling on both sides. I thought you guys were both fucking stupid. Let that be known. However, after hearing both arguments, I have to give it to the defendant side. Twilight Princess Link is stronger than Skyward Sword Link.
How stronger?
Stronger.
How?
He's not the strongest Link, but he's definitely stronger than Skyward Sword Link.
I need to give you evidence? Or
I don't need to get evidence.
What?
I'm the fucking judge.
Well, we'll let the subscribers and viewers be the real judges of that.